This country has been blessed by wise men of the past who, for them, although we use big words as sacrifice, although we use big words as renunciation, sacrifice. So these men, great men, working, leaving everything, renouncing everything, sacrificing their lives, they found out the very purpose of existence. They found out the very purpose of human life, human mission. So in their terms, it doesn't hold, sacrifice doesn't hold any meaning. They just do it by the way, just for the sake of people. That's the way they live. See, it's like fire burning. When fire burns, it's not only consuming other objects, it's consuming itself also. It's burning. So it doesn't consider itself sacrifice, that it's sacrificing. We pray, or rather we are supposed to pray the Gayatri Mantra in the morning and in the evening. The sun doesn't consider itself that it's sacrificing. Although it's burning itself away. You can imagine the heat of the sun. How can any object with that kind of heat sustain itself? Think, it's impossible with that kind of heat that any object as a sun can sustain itself. But the only consolation we have is to conclude that the sun's light is coming from the light of the self. It is self which is giving the sun light. So therefore it's able to bloom. But in this context, the sun doesn't consider itself sacrifice, that it's sacrificing. Similarly, these great men, they sacrificed their life, as it were, and they found out where and why the human birth and why human death. Where does human birth ultimately culminate into, or where several human births ultimately culminate into, merge into? It can never happen that the cycle of existence can never have any end. So the cycle of existence has to have some sort of an end. So these great men, they found out the very purpose of human life. And they having tread that path, having followed that path, they proclaimed to the world that, listen, this world, what you're experiencing is a mere illusion. This world is an illusion, and what is truth in front of you, which has always been in front of you, whether in the past, whether in the present, or it's going to be in the future, is the self. It's that God principle in you, which loosely everybody calls it as God. So your true nature, every human being has to culminate someday into the self, if you want to find the abode of true happiness. If you don't want to find the abode of true happiness, and if you want to find pseudo happiness that you derive in the world, go on banging your head against the wall, you go on banging the head, you go on banging your senses against the sense objects. You get paltry pleasure and you're happy with that. It's like a beggar. Imagine a king who doesn't know that he's a king, and he temporarily thinks that he's a beggar, goes on begging, and you become happy with that paltry joy you get, and you're satisfied. But nobody ventures into finding what the true mission is. So these great men, they followed that path, they lived that life, and they reached that self. They became that self. They became one with the self. Now, after having become one with the self, these so-called gurus, as it were, they gave out the path and the goal. See, they reached the goal. What's interesting is they reached the goal, but they were not selfish. After reaching the goal, they did give a very logical path to reach there. The only problem is that it's inaccessible to those who have no access to that. Many times in many of my talks, I mention that what you must understand is why is that there should be an endeavor to keep this knowledge alive. So the endeavor to keep this knowledge alive is otherwise, if you don't keep this knowledge alive, if you don't talk this language, the language of the mundane language, which is prevalent in the present, that will take over. Mundane language will take over. And Vedanta will become the knowledge which, as I mentioned to you in the past, archaic knowledge. It will become knowledge of the past. Nobody will know this knowledge. Your kids will not know. See, just as you and me, we have not tasted what is it, we have not experienced what is it to become, to be bound, what is it to be like, live like a slave. Before 1947, we are all slaves. However rich you may be, but we were a slave. We were all under the British rule. We don't know that. What does it mean? What is it to be free? What is freedom? So therefore, our children will never know what is it to be free. Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Of course, there could be people who are inquirers, and those inquirers will come up. Hopefully, there could be one, like a needle in the haystack. You may be able to find one needle somewhere, but it's lost in the haystack. But we, as the custodians, so-called, have an obligation to keep this knowledge alive. And these people gave it out. So, in the earlier times, the father was a guru. The father, therefore it was called a preceptor-disciple lineage. And the preceptor-disciple lineage was a lineage of the father handing this knowledge down to the son. And the son, who becomes the father later on, hands it down to his son. So the culture was maintained. The gotra was maintained. The line of existence was maintained. But somewhere down the line, where selfishness took over and gross selfishness took over, this knowledge was lost. And few custodians who took upon themselves that, no, I think we should research, we should at least find out what this is and bring it out to the forefront and give it out to the world. They kind of endeavored into the research and gave it out. So these great men were called gurus. And what you must understand is the Upanishads, the Vedas, they don't have authors. The Upanishads don't have authors. The Vedas don't have authors. It's all a cumulative effect of knowledge which they just gave it out for the existence of people. Just for people to not only merely exist, but exist in the true light of yourself. See, what you must understand is the moment you flash a light on yourself, on you, there's so much focus to see, oh, how do you look? If someone wants to click a photograph, oh, this light is not good, that you should get that light, and that light will be, it'll show up on your face. But what you don't understand, that you are true light. So these great men were called gurus. And the word guru comes from two words, which is gu and ru. So the Sanskrit meaning of the word guru comes from the word gu and the word ru. Gu meaning darkness. Ru meaning light. Now there's a pun on that word guru. So it's in common parlance, you will find it everywhere, that the word guru means dispeller of darkness. But then why is the word light in it? That is something which is interesting. So gu is darkness, ru is light. So the person who is able to dispel your darkness, how can only guru mean in the common parlance, how can only Guru means dispel of darkness? Now, how does he dispel darkness? Through light. So how can light and darkness be in one and the same form? So hydrogen is a combustible gas. Oxygen is that which supports combustion. When they come together, they produce water, which extinguishes combustion. So this is what I want to tell you. Hydrogen and oxygen, the combination of hydrogen and oxygen comes together and they produce what? Water, which extinguishes combustion. Ascharya. 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 It's a wonderment. Wood is what? Wood is nothing but fuel. Wood is also the seed of fire. Wood, fire is inherent in wood. So how can the same object which ignites fire and has fuel in it? So when you rub two pieces of wood together, what do you get? Fire. But essentially, what is wood? Fuel. So how can fuel and fire, it's like gunpowder and fire, be in the same form? Ascharya, ascharya, ascharya. Similarly, light and darkness, knowledge and ignorance. So knowledge and ignorance is two sides of the same coin. Your true nature, if you carefully think, like last time you told me, sir, this was something like a scripture. I'm telling you something which is a fact. I'm telling you the origin of this knowledge. See, do you realize your true nature is knowledge? You are the self. How much ever I may hammer this truth to you, you are the self. But what you don't, you find yourself limited because of the limited vestures. See, you are the self and you have fallen from that self because of you are not able to understand that self. So from that non-understanding, from that non-apprehension, you've fallen into misapprehension. All non-apprehensions need not convert themselves as misapprehensions. So you are not able to understand the self. You could have remained in that state and you could have merged back. But no, because of sustained non-apprehension, you converted that non-apprehension, because nothing but deep sleep, vasanas, into misapprehensions. But once you come into misapprehension, then there is a huge process. There is a longer process for you to get back. So your nature is the self. So you feel limited because of your conditioning. And in this, once you are in misapprehension, there are several conditionings. See, you must understand, please. You are a conditioned individual sitting here. You are conditioned by your body. You're conditioned by your feelings. You're conditioned by the intellect. Similarly here, this person here who's sitting opposite to you is also conditioned. But the difference is, with knowledge, you can get rid of your conditionings. So what does this conditioning do? This conditioning is at all the three levels of your personality makes you feel bound, makes you feel restricted, makes you feel constricted. And as a result of which, you get away from your infinitude, which is your nature. Infinity is your nature. So ignorance and knowledge are two sides of the same coin. So when you take care of ignorance, since you have lost yourself and come into ignorance, all you need to do is take care of ignorance. Self is your original nature. It surfaces by itself. In the scripture, see, nowadays there are no brass. Nowadays there are a lot of people don't use brass. But I remember even in school, brasso, which was the liquid which was used to take the oxide away from the brass components, was used. I don't know whether you did that. It was such a fascinating, isn't it? It was such a fascinating exercise. So you used brasso for what? You used brasso to remove oxide from the brass. Its original nature, from the brass vessels or from the brass objects, you remove oxide. So what happens? The original nature was never lost. It was always there. It is inherent. But you remove the oxidized part, as it were. So Gu means light. Gu means darkness. Gu means darkness. Ru means light. A person who's regarded to have true wisdom, a sense of complete knowledge. So he is that. The very word Guru is got. He's got light which can dispel your darkness. As I mentioned, there's also a pun on that word Guru. The darkness also means that the self is dark, in terms of it doesn't. A lot of people, nobody knows the self. In that sense, it is dark. In that sense, it is a secret. In the Bhagavad Gita, he uses the word rahasya. I will teach you. Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, I will teach you the supreme knowledge, the supreme secret. And he's telling Arjuna that don't give it to people. Not in the sense of don't mention to people, but people don't understand this knowledge. It's a supreme secret. Supreme secret in the sense nobody understands that. So darkness means the self is dark. And through this knowledge, through these great masters who have given this path, you need to reach to that dark self, which is not known to many, which is known to few. So what does the Guru do? He is an authority. He has got complete knowledge. Such a person, he's got complete knowledge. An authority in that particular area of the knowledge of the self. And he helps you go there. So, see, the meaning of the word Guru also, in Sanskrit, is also heavy. Make a note, heavy, deep, great, large, difficult, hard, valuable, venerable. So, when you talk about a guru, heavy with knowledge, he's deep, he's not superficial, he's not like a trainer. There is some argument. The trainer says, okay, I'm not coming from tomorrow because you're not giving me my salary. But this man, this man or woman, whoever the guru is deep. Deep in the recesses. He stays deep within himself. Deep in the recesses. He's deep with knowledge. He's deep. He's not superficial. He's not shallow. Venerable, weighty, great, large, huge. Like Lord Ganesha. Why did Lord Shiva, huge, put the biggest biological head on Ganesha, on his own son? Because it's large, it's excessive. With what? With knowledge, with wisdom. Alone has the power to speak. A guru is one who alone has the power to speak, where the truth he has realized, the truth which he has realized the self, he has alone the power of to speak without any misrepresentation. See, I'm giving you these points because what are we learning? What did word 15 do? Verse 14 say, all non-essentials of religion you follow. The reason of course, today being Guru Purnima, and you know that is such a great day for this great country. So non-essentials of religion, and what is the essentials of religion? Who is a guru? Non-essential. Jatilo mundi lunchita kesha. Kashaya ambara. Ambara. Wear this, wear that. Nowhere is it mentioned the Guru says this and Guru says that. I'm defining this research, what has been done, just giving you what the Guru is trying to tell you. So he has many faces. So he's hard because it's not easy to deal with the person. He's hard not for himself, he's hard only to to help you. And people don't like that. He's also soft. He is very soft. But today, what you must understand, if you don't have someone, of course, you've got to have someone who is hard with the knowledge to give you, and of course, soft in understanding your capacity to grasp that. So hard doesn't mean he takes a stick and he's behind you. So in that sense, he's hard. In that sense, he's difficult to understand because you will never understand a person who is always speaks in your interest. He's difficult to understand. You like people, when I say, don't get me personal, I'm not saying you. When I say you means anyone, everybody likes people who are sweet. Who likes a person who chides you? Who likes a person who corrects you? No one likes. But you like sweet people. Arey, Mridul, Arey Amulya, oh, you are looking so handsome, so nice, so sweet. Arey, that great deal you did. So no. Guru's alone capable of describing many faces of the truth. Why? Many angles. Because he strives with you. See that Shantipada, what we chant in the beginning. He says the Guru strives with you, not with arrogance, because he doesn't need to strive, but he strives with you because to give that confidence, listen, I'm with you, so that the student also strives. So it is a Guru who not only communicates the truth to the disciple, but he also teaches the disciple how to assimilate the knowledge. So he doesn't just teach you. He doesn't teach you and say, okay, move now, enough is enough. He also gives you a technique of how you need to approach it, how you need to assimilate it. See, recently there are certain, whatever we had, certain issues we are facing, certain confrontations. So even with that other gentleman who we know, why you need to address it? You have to show many faces of the truth just to give you confidence. It's not so easy. As I said in the beginning, it's conditioning. You have been conditioned to think in a particular way. Do you realize that you from the very birth you're bound, you're conditioned, become in a man's body? It's not your fault, but you've come in that. So the moment you're born, you are already in effect. You can't do anything about it. Even if you want to change your body, you cannot change your mindset. In fact, those people who have a mindset who get confused in the beginning, they are able to change their bodies. Like you hear a man changing into a woman changing into a man. But still, it's not so clear. It's easy. However much you may want to be like a woman, you have been born as a man's body, in the man's body. So, step by step, it takes you step by step. He doesn't give you commandments. He doesn't give you the commandments and say, forget about it. That's the person. The Guru also sings. These are all various ways of telling you that how, when he say Guru sings, he's not that the Guru sings. He doesn't sing. Of course he sings. But what does he sing? The only song he has to sing is the knowledge of the self, the song of the self. So he sings the beauty and the glory of the self. He does not sing the beauty and the glory of his vis-a-vis his personality. How great he is, how nice he is, how brilliant he is. He doesn't do all that. He only sings the beauty and the glory of the self. And a true Guru is always one who always doesn't proclaim this knowledge. He always says, so have we heard from our master. So when I am giving this knowledge out to you, I'll say, Mulya, so have I heard from my master. In the Gita, Lord Krishna says, so have we heard from the great masters. So the Guru Purnima is that sacred day where you do namaskar to all the great sages and saints who have given out knowledge in various phases, various knowledges. So you cannot thank one by one. You can't thank a Guru one by one. So what do? You say my namaskar to all these great galaxy of sages and saints. But as far as the guru who gives the knowledge of the self, he is supposed to be the most venerable, the most venerated, the most powerful, and should be most preserved. He should be preserved. A student should preserve such gurus because he has no other means to live in his life. Firstly, he doesn't live in his life. If at all after realization he lives, it is only because of his prarabdha vasanas, and he lives only to give out this knowledge. So he sings only. What is that? A song of the self. He takes the mind of the disciple. He takes the mind of peoples who he comes in contacts with. From the world, he takes the mind from the world and plants it on the self. Just as we sing, why do we chant before the class? Why do we chant certain verses? Because our minds are engaged in the self. See, even when you wake up from the sleep, you must have dreamt some sensual dreams. And some to take away your mind from the self, from the world, and put it on the self. You chant. So Guru only sings the praises of the self. He has no other business. Nothing. Guru is one alone who can proclaim the truth. Why can he proclaim the truth? Because he has become one with the truth. That proclamation is out of wisdom. That proclamation is not out of mere erudition or scholarship. He is not an erudite scholar. He has immersed himself with that knowledge. So the word guru also is derived from the root grinati. Guru. Guru is also come from the word grinati. Grinati meaning to praise, to speak, or to proclaim. That's why. Because the word guru is come also from the word grinati. Grinati means to sing, praise. They say, my God, he is always, he has this the grinati of the self. He's praising the self. So a guru's role, as I said, is always only to unite the disciple with the state of the superconscious state. Now, traditionally, see, I'm giving you different angles. Traditionally, the word guru is also a part of Guru Mata. I don't know, have you heard this word, Guru Mata? Guru Mata means Guru literally is compared to a mother. A Guru is compared to a mother because he almost as though, metaphorically, he puts the disciple on his lap, just as the mother keeps the child on her lap. So he carries the disciple. First he puts the disciple on his lap or her lap. I don't know, any lady guru will put the disciple on her lap because she has to maintain that decorum. She won't put anybody on her lap. But a mother will put a child on the lap. So why does a mother put the child on the lap? Because the mother knows that the child needs that support. So the guru knows that the disciple needs that support, and he carries the disciple. He carries the disciple in his womb until the disciple merges with that consciousness. He carries him. Lap means nothing but womb, until he gives him the birth to that life of spirit. He carries him almost in his womb. The lap, in his lap means also he carries himself throughout. He doesn't keep him on his lap till he gives him that life of consciousness, till he gives him that life of spirit. So therefore, when a student is supposed to reach a guru actually only when the guru initiates him, the father initiates him. Actually, the father initiates him of doing a ceremony called Upanayanam. Upanayanam means twice born. So twice born, actually the word Upanayanam actually literally means to take you close to the self. The thread ceremony is that which takes you. Upanayanam actually it means, the meaning of that ceremony is to take you close to the self. It also means twice born. Two meanings it has. It's a thread ceremony. Why a thread? Can you think? In this context, you're supposed to wear the thread. What I'm trying to get out of you is you're supposed to wear the thread on you, right? It comes from one shoulder. The thread, traditionally speaking, it's not a single thread. Traditionally speaking, it is three threads. It's got three threads, right? Three very thin, very thin threads just juxtaposed to each other, side by side to each other. So those three threads become one thread. The way it is woven, the way it symbolizes the body, the mind, and the intellect. It also symbolizes sattva, rajas, and tamas. You are wearing that thread to symbolize that at this moment you are limited by your body, mind, and intellect, and you're limited by the gunas. So it symbolizes those, you need to go beyond those three limitations. For what? Because a thread is nothing but, it's a circle, it's a joint thread. It's a circle. And as you know, a circle is infinite. Correct? A circle has no beginning and no end. That which has no beginning, no end is infinite. So therefore it says that you need to get out of this limited circle of life, which keeps on, which you are coming, you die, you born, you burn, you born, again you die. So the body, mind, and intellect, the sattva, rajas, tamas, is holding you in the cycle of birth and death. So you need to come out of this limitation and reach that infinity. Reach that circle. What? A circle which does not have any beginning or an end. So that is the self. So therefore he is called as Guru Mata, mother who carries the disciple. He is like a mother who carries the disciple in the womb of consciousness before he gives birth to the spirit, to the life spirit. So what does the Guru do? He is introducing you to the life spirit in you. Not taking you and keeping you in the world. See, what you will not understand. I was taken to a Guru. It's supposed to be a very, very huge Guru. I can't say it because I'm just recording this. Someone wanted this. They said, Swami Prayagraj, please, if you're explaining the Guru, because this is the first time I'm doing this talk. So someone requested that whenever you're doing this talk, please, I want this recording. So it's an audio recording. See, so therefore I'm not mentioning the name. I was taken to a Guru, big Guru, famous Guru. And I was little hesitant to go, not because of anything. What's the point? I mean, what's the point of going? But the person who took me, he insisted that, please, you have to come. And it so happened where I used to lecture, the Guru was living in the same apartment on the top floor. So he took me. And as you know, there is no competition. I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm not in disagreement with anybody. Because you may have your view, I have my view. And I'll never say you're wrong. So that's not my role. So anyway, I went there and he was a much elderly. So I prostrated to him and I took all his blessings and all that. So he said, correct. So you know what he told me, right? You know what he told me? You remember that? What he told me? That he said that. Number one, he said that. And number two, he said, you have such a power to influence people. You must influence all the Hindus to have more children. I said, I myself have no child. I couldn't tell him that. So he said, you must influence all the Hindus. apart from one particular religion, all the other religions, apart from one or two particular religions, he said, all the other religions, as Hinduism, we've got to go on having more and more children, more and more children. Because otherwise the other religion, the children of other religions will swallow us. So we have to produce more. And you have the gift of the gap, which can say that. Where is this? What? A guru is like a mother who carries the disciple in the womb of his consciousness. Consciousness is totally pervasive in the guru. So he carries the disciple in the womb, on the lap, like the mother carrying the baby on the lap. And what does he do? Before he gives him birth to the life spirit, he introduces him to the life spirit. That's the guru's role. Not have more children or less children. See, anything which is weak, you asked me, sir, how these people have followings? Weakness. So that weakness is there. It's tremendous weakness. So any person who feels weak wants to have name, fame, following. No, converse is not true. Just because a person has following, that doesn't mean that he's weak. Converse is not true. So where is this? Then, so the birth of the intellect. So the Upanayanam, which is the twice born, is also the birth of the intellect, and it is through the intellect alone you can reach the self. Because it's the most powerful tool, which almost exactly at that time the intellect is, he starts thinking. You will find now our child, he'll start thinking, he'll start questioning, why this, why that, why not take me this, take me here, take me there. You just mentioned to me that this is what he said, take me here, take me there. Why? Because he starts questioning. Because he can see the pairs of opposites. He can see that I have not gone for a long time. So therefore, please, Papa, take me somewhere. So that's where the intellect is born. The word guru also is derived from the root sound gru, griti, girati, from the root sound gir, from the word girati. Girati means to swallow. So the guru is one who swallows your weaknesses. He swallows your shortcomings. He swallows your ignorance. He doesn't chide you. He doesn't keep on. When it's necessary, he will do that. But he doesn't have that superiority complex ways where he feels superior to you and he says, you people are that, you all are here and I am there. No, he swallows that. Because he is full, because he is the self. So since he is the self is all love. So when it's all love, he has only affection for you. So what does he do? He swallows all the shortcomings and he gives you strength, he gives you knowledge. See, the word guru also comes from the root sound. Girati means sprinkle, to drench. When guru, he is one, he drenches you in that knowledge so that the ego, which is dry, insipid, it doesn't fly around here and there. So anything which is dry, it's arid, it flies around. Sand is dry. Therefore you have, see, one of the reasons why India has a lot of dust, because they say on the western side of India, especially Bombay, Gujarat and all these places, we are not far away from the desert, from the Middle Eastern side. So all the desert storms which come, there are two reasons. Of course, there is, we have a seasonal, monsoon is it's a season for us. So we don't have monsoon throughout the year. Western countries have monsoon throughout the years. Therefore, you don't find that much dust. It's much more cleaner. So the dust settles. But India also has constant dust coming from there. So anything which is dry, it flies around. But anything which is drenched, which is submerged, which is immersed, which is wet, it's grounded. It doesn't fly around. So a person with an ego, you'll find that egoistic. You know who I am? He'll fly around here and there, his thoughts. Are you with me? But the person who is humble is quiet. He speaks only if he thinks he can improve upon silence. Otherwise, he doesn't speak. He speaks only when he's asked to speak. He speaks only when he finds he can improve upon silence. Otherwise, he stays in silence. So, that he is immersed, he immerses the disciple with his knowledge and wisdom. But therefore we say, it's the Guru's grace. It's a Guru's grace. See, you won't understand this, unless you must get into that spirit of, my God, what is that man? He has only virtue. He only thinks about you. He has only virtue, because that state of infinite knowledge is such. All these small things are nothing. So from his grace, what he does to you is kripa drishtihi. A guru becomes kripa drishtihi. Kripa drishtihi means it's his own blessings, it's his own kripa. To give you that vision. His grace is such to give you, he drenches you in this vision of consciousness. And because of which, once he showers that grace upon you, it becomes kripa vrishtihi for the disciple. Kripa vrishtihi means you have to be fortunate to find a person who is giving you the knowledge of self. So remember these two words, kripa drishtihi and kripa vrishtihi. So, therefore he says that when you become heavy, you are associated with humility. But when you have the ego, you are associated with ego, with the dryness which flies around here. A guru his presence is so ever. See, there's another meaning of the word guru is heavy. What is he heavy with? He's heavy with knowledge. He's heavy with wisdom. So because he's so heavy, you will find that his presence is so overwhelming. Or such overwhelming presence. So you get totally awed in his personality. But true gurus will maintain that honest. True gurus will maintain that presence, that heaviness about himself. So he's too intense. He's unshakable. He's like a mountain. A guru also comes from the word giri. Giri means like a mountain. See, one word. Look at this. One word. Guru te means to lift, to rise. And there are different kinds of gurus. You will fall off to sleep if I give you some more things. You will fall off to sleep. Because this will go on and on. But what is relevant to you is this part and this last part, what I'm telling you. There are different kinds of gurus. Of course, there is only one guru who teaches you knowledge of the self. But in our faith, in the Vedantic parlance, there are different types of gurus who are supposed to do different kinds of things. But so there are four gurus. One is called the Diksha Guru. I think there are three gurus. One is called the Diksha Guru. Diksha means initiation, correct? The second guru is called the Shiksha Guru. Shiksha, when you give Shiksha, right? Shiksha Guru means is a guru who teaches you. A guru with instructions. A guru with knowledge who gives you. Diksha is one who gives you the mantra. Because Diksha Guru is initiation because he believes that you have done all what you have to do and you have come to now to take a mantra, to follow that mantra and reach the self. You have not yet reached the self. So therefore he gives you Diksha. And the last one is called the Chaitya Guru. Chaitya Guru means the Guru which is within. So an initiating guru is person who formally accepts a student into Sampradaya. Sampradaya is a religious order, as I told you. It's a ceremony which is called the Diksha, where a guru checks with you if your past is dead. And why do you want to come to this field? So he ensures that yes, this person is fit to take up Diksha, and he gives you Diksha. But no true guru will get into this Diksha. Especially a Siksha Guru. A Shiksha Guru will never get into this Diksha business and all that. This Diksha and all is become it's become a business. See, again, this recording, I don't want to tell you, but there's a very famous, so-called famous guru who felt a little void within. He asked his assistant to call 4 or 5 of his disciples to give X amount of money to buy him cars. He already had about some 90 cars or something. He wanted to reach 100. And she said, how? Anyway, these people have given already so much money. So how do we handle that? So he said, no. You tell them, I will give them Diksha. I have never given Diksha to anybody, but I will give them Diksha. So therefore they'll shell out that money. And these guys came saying that, oh my God, this great guru is giving Diksha. So they gave that X amount of money. Therefore he was able to buy the 99. But he reached 99. And after that, I think he died. Or rather, he couldn't raise more money. I don't know if you know. He reached 99 Rolls Royces. A true story. Diksha. So what Diksha? So, in fact, so that it's the Diksha Guru is one who he ensures that you have done your practices properly and you are fit to take Diksha to reach that path, whatever you have chosen. In fact, Swami Tapona Maharaj, he never gave Diksha. He never gave Diksha to his disciple, Swami Chindanandaji. He said, what is the reason for give Diksha? He took it from, Swami Chindanandaji took Diksha from some other master who was, I think, Swami Shivananda, if I'm not mistaken. So, then there's a Shiksha Guru. A Shiksha Guru is one who is an instructing Guru. He has that knowledge. He trains the student. He doesn't believe in all that. He believes, Shiksha Guru is someone who is very practical. He has the knowledge, he gives the knowledge to the student. So he takes, as I said, all the qualities of the Guru, what we gave before that. He takes them step by step. A Diksha and Shiksha Guru could be the same. Not necessary, but could be the same, but not necessary. Chaitya Guru is a Guru within. What can it be? Who is a Guru within? Chaitya Guru. The true Guru is the self. By Chaitya Guru, it refers to the conscience. Because in this context, the Guru is the guiding force. So of course, the Guru, the main Guru is the self, which teaches you. Only the self can teach you. The self teaches the self. The knowledge of the self is also imparted only to the extent the Guru can impart the knowledge of the self only to, in the 5th chapter he says that, of the Bhagavad Gita. Only to the extent that he is unveiled his self. But in this context, it is a guiding force. So the guiding force refers to the conscience. So the conscience is that which is a type of a guru which always directs you to the self. Therefore, it is said that it is a part of the subtle intellect, Chaitya. The subtle intellect is that which is always directing you. It distinguishes the world vis-a-vis the transcendental. That's the subtle intellect. Gross intellect only works in the world. Subtle intellect goes beyond the world. So therefore, humans are privileged to have subtle intellect. No animal can conceive God. In fact, even the atheist conceives God and rejects it. There is no God. How? How can he say that? Because he conceives it. So Chaitya Guru is that Guru, the conscience, which represents, which tells you there is something within you which keeps on telling you that this is something which is not wrong and this is something which is right. So therefore, as you find that God, in fact, God, since the conscience is part of the subtle intellect and the subtle intellect is that which connects you to the God. So, God is considered, as you rightly said, the original Guru, and all other forms of Guru represents this one original Guru. So since all other forms which represents one Guru, and God is considered, the self is considered the only Guru. And what is the quality of the self? The quality of the self is that which is eternal. So therefore, the expression of Sat Guru emanates from there. Just because you have a name Sadguru doesn't mean anything. The essential of the word Sat means eternal, Guru means the teacher. So it is often indicated to be used as God is the original Guru, is the eternal Guru. So therefore, to that Guru, we say, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We say, Om Tat Sat Tatsvai Shri Guruve Namaha. He says, Guru is the ultimate. Namaha. To that personality, please take in my salutations. Please accept my offerings. Tasmai. Tasmai means therefore. Therefore, all that we have said is in His glory, and is the glory of the Guru. In the glory of the Guru, please offer my prostrations. Please offer my humble offerings, my prostrations. And on this day of Guru Purnima, we, as it were, propitiate all the Gurus of the past, especially in this country. And this country is pious, this country is spiritual. Why? Because of these great Gurus, they've left a legacy of knowledge behind. They've left a bank of their wealth. India has, forget about gold and all the riches, but India still can reach that status of the number one country in the world. I mean, India doesn't need to compete anywhere because of only one factor, which is the knowledge of the self. Thanks to our great Gurus of the past. And on this day, Guru Purnima, we respect them and we bow down to them in obeisance of leaving this legacy of knowledge behind.